Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Jaslyn and I run a snail mail club called the Good Old Days. In this video, I'm sharing all about how I started my mail club with absolutely zero audience. I'm splitting this video into two big parts. In the first portion, I'll be sharing about the steps I have taken to start the Good Old Days mail club so you can decide for yourself how you want to launch yours and see for yourself how easy that can be. In the second portion, I will share with you how Good Old Days is doing so you can manage your expectations. Let's start off the video with getting to know a little bit about me. And before you say, I don't want to know about you, this doesn't help with starting a mail club, it does. Hear me out. This is actually extremely important because everyone starts off with different resources. We are at different stages in our businesses and has different circumstances. You need to know what you can leverage on in order to craft out a plan to start your mail club and then your growth plan. For me, I started my mail club in the third year of my business, specifically the later half. And back then, I have around 10,000 monthly views on my blog, 1,000 followers on Instagram, and about 200 plus people on my email list. And I know what some of you might be thinking, that is a lot of traffic. A mail club is for sure going to have a successful launch for me. And this brings me to my next point, which is context and target audience. All of this traffic that I have built may seem like a great start for a mail club, but you need to know who are these people. So let's take a closer look at the content I have been putting out on these three channels. First up, my blog. My blog content revolves heavily around crochet patterns, business tips, gift guides, and sometimes art basics. For my Instagram, my niche was sharing about how I created multiple income streams. And three, for my email list, the majority of my audience is interested in how to make passive income and building an online business. And those are not my target audience for my mail club, which is why when it comes to starting a mail club, step 1 and step 9 will be important in order to grow and sustain a mail club in the long run. Knowing all of this, if you already have a platform maybe on Instagram or TikTok that you have been sharing about your art, you're definitely in a better place than where I started. Now let's dive straight into how to start a mail club. The first step in starting a mail club is to nail down your why. This is important because you wouldn't quit easily when things get hard or when you didn't meet your goals. Do not fall into the trap of starting a mail club just because recurring income sounds amazing. A lot of people started out this way and get stressed about what to create every month and get burned out super fast. And all of this negative energy is simply not good for business. For me, my why is simple. One of my biggest dreams is to be able to create my own stationery collection that I design, so launching a mail club felt like a mini step I could take to gain experience. Once you know your why, the next step is to set goals. Because I know I'm starting from scratch with very minimal target audience, I have to manage my expectations and expect a few losses for a few months, especially because I'm not planning to run any paid ads. I just wanted it to be chill and cozy, like what I envisioned a snail mail club to be. This gave me space and time to experiment with different art styles, find out what my target audience love and what works for my mail club and also me. Every mail club is different. My goal for myself is to continue the mail club for at least a year, and at the 1-year mark, I will then decide whether I want to continue doing it. I feel like a 1-year mark is a pretty healthy time frame for me to figure out my signature style, understand more about my target audience and what works for my creative business. Once you complete step 1, the next thing you want to figure out is what you want to put in the envelope. Things you'll probably want to think about. Number 1, what makes your mail club different? 2, why should someone subscribe to your mail club over anyone else? And 3, what is your value proposition? For the Good Old Days Mail Club, the idea is to have a theme every month, and just like the name suggests, the theme will be from the olden days and I will create all the art around that theme. I started with deciding what I want as a baseline, which is what is the constant every month, and these are the postcard and 2 stickers that I will create. For the value proposition, I wanted to design an activity every month so members can actually do things with their hands or work their brains. Think things like crafting activity, coloring sheets, decrypting, word search, crossword, brain teasers, and many more. I gave this a fancy name, Time Capsule, which matches the mail club name. And because I want my snail mail club to be chill and cozy, I also make it a thing to write a personal letter in every month's mail. I will share with my good old pals the inspiration for the art, include some fun facts about the theme so they can always learn something new. For you, the value proposition can be completely different, but here is something worth thinking about. If you only include postcards and stickers, you'll mostly be competing on quantity. There's no right or wrong with this. Some artists include lots of stickers in their mail club and members love that because they get to collect lots of stickers with just one subscription. If you already have a lot of art collection on hand that you can easily turn into stickers, this is one smart way to do it because the value proposition is simply lots of stickers. But if you're like me, you don't have ready-made art you can already use, then it is smarter to have a strong value proposition that doesn't involve you competing in quantities, but in quality. A great example of a strong value proposition that I love is the Paw Prints Club by Phyllis. When you subscribe to the Mail Club, you receive a print plus a step-by-step tutorial to learn how to paint that month's featured animal. And I feel this is a super smart value proposition because members get to learn how to paint and actually learn a skill. If you don't know her, go check her out. She is amazing. Here are some ideas for you to help you kickstart the brainstorming process. If you're a baker, you can share new dessert recipes every month along with a drawing of the dessert and design stickers based on the ingredients used. If you're a clay artist, you can consider a step-by-step tutorial along with a photo of the end product as the postcard and design a matching sticker. If you're a photographer, you may want to share your preset edits along with a photo that uses that preset so your members get to edit as well as you do. There are a ton of ways you can do this. Pick the one that feels aligned with you and go from there. Don't worry about you not wanting to follow through after a while. You can always switch it up anytime when you see it is not working. Remember, pivoting isn't scary, staying constant is. The third step is to find a name for your mail club. I actually decided what I want to put into my mails before deciding on the name. My criteria for naming are simple. Number one, the name shouldn't be too broad or too specific. I didn't want it to box me in creatively. Number two, it should scream analog, which is what mail clubs are all about. And number three, I wanted to hint at a little mystery so they can be curious to find out what they will get every month. The Good Old Days name actually came to me during one of my weekly runs. Somehow my best ideas always show up when I'm not trying. So if you're having a hard time nailing down your name, don't worry, continue with your day, take a break. I'm sure it will come up eventually. Just make sure that the name is sustainable so you don't have to keep changing it. It should either hint at what your mail club is about or give you creative room to grow. The next step is to figure out your monthly themes. A lot of people skip this step, but I think it is one of the most important ones, especially when your creative ideas don't come naturally when you are stressed out. As I am a super type J, I plan all 12 months of themes in advance. That way, when it is time to create for a given month, all I have to do is research that theme and get into the creative work. No decision fatigue, no last minute panic. Here's a trick. If you're just starting out, keep it simple for your first year. Use special occasions and holidays to fill in the calendar. Think Mother's Day, Father's Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. And once you find your freedom, you can get more experimental in year 2. Another benefit of planning ahead is that the whole mail club will feel more cohesive, and you can even have a whole collection after a year that can be used for calendars and other stationery items. Step 5 of starting your mail club is to figure out your fulfillment method. Basically, how are you going to be making the postcards, the stickers, the mail items? You have two options here. Option 1 is to print it yourself. This one requires a lot of upfront investment, think printing machines, ink, paper, and a fair amount of trial and error before you get the quality right. Personally, I would rather spend my time on the fun part, which is packing, so this option was a huge no for me. That said, if you already have a printer and the materials at home or in your studio, or you have experience with printing, this will make complete sense in the early days for you. You save on the outsourcing costs and have full control over quality and can consider a higher profit margin. Option 2, which is to find someone to print for you, aka suppliers. This is the route I went with. I spent an afternoon researching suppliers and comparing printing costs for the different postcard and sticker sizes. Some suppliers offer free sample kits which you can look out for. This will allow you to see the quality before you decided to order in bulk. A lot of time, there's also a minimum quantity that you have to order, so do keep that in mind. To give you an idea, for my postcards and stickers, I have to order a minimum of 50 every time. One thing to keep in mind, the more you order, the cheaper the unit cost. So as your subscriber count grows, your profit margin grows with it. That is when you can start thinking about upgrading your packaging, adding customization, or including extra goodies. Next, let's start shopping. This is the most exciting part because you actually get to see the tangible items and start to see the whole cloud coming around. And because I'm starting from scratch, I try to keep the cost as low as possible. Upfront costs are inevitable when you sell physical products, so make sure to budget for it. Good news is that we don't have to break the bank to start a snail mail club. Here is what I spent on when I launched my mail club. Number one, private mailbox rental. This cost me about $168 for a year. As I work mostly from home, taking privacy into consideration, I rented a mailbox where I get to collect any returned mail. Second thing I bought was a thermal label printer. This cost me about $47. I use this to print addresses. You can write them manually, of course, but this will become very handy as your mail club becomes bigger. I also got some extra labels, which cost me around $10.50. I also got a paper cutter, which cost me around $13. This is to cut my mail items like the crafting activity and letter. This is way more time efficient than cutting with scissors. Next, I also bought a branded stamp which cost me around $8. This is the only branded item I bought for the launch. I used the Mail Club logo to create a custom stamp so the whole experience will feel more personal. This is completely optional if you want to save costs. The next thing I bought is a washi tape which cost me around $4. This is to seal everything together. A lot of Mail Club uses vellum envelopes or tissue paper to pack everything, but I want to keep everything more environmentally friendly, so I'm using the letter as the tissue paper. And then to seal everything together, I use a washi tape. And last but not least, I had to get envelopes which cost me around $21. I bought $50 for the first month, but I learned quickly that they get cheaper when you buy more. I also opted for the self-adhesive one, so you don't have to keep gluing it yourself, which will save you a lot of time. As months goes by, I also bought other materials that are also quite important. The first one is do not bend stickers, which cost me around $5.40 for 100 pieces. This is to prevent your mail from getting folded during shipping. The second thing is postage stamps. In Singapore, it cost me about $1.90 for international stamps and $6.20 for 10 local stamps. Usually, I get this when I want to mail out the items because the turnaround time is pretty fast in Singapore. If postage stamp turnaround is slow where you are, buy in bulk and plan ahead. Step 7 is to price your mail club. You don't want it to be too cheap or too expensive, so it will be sustainable for you in the long run. For me, what I did is I built an Excel sheet and did a full cost analysis of all my materials and costs. Here is what I factored in before landing on a final number. Number 1, variable costs. My time capsule activity changes every month. Sometimes it requires just one item, sometimes several, which will affect the total cost. Number 2, weight limits. I learned from other mail clubs that the entire envelope needs to weigh under 1 ounce, which is around 28 grams, to be classified as a letter. Go over that and postage costs will increase like mad, so I have to get creative with what I include. Number 3, international shipping. I have a global audience and I do not want my international members to bear extra costs, so I have to absorb that on my end. After factoring all of this, I landed on $10 per month and I'm confident it is fair for my members and sustainable for the business. Your situation may look different depending on where you are based and who you want to target. And now, the last step is to plan your launch and actually launch it. What you want to do is to plan your launch timeline and work backwards from there. For me, I wanted to start sending out mail in January. That meant that subscribers needed to sign up by the end of December. And that meant that I had to start marketing in December and have all my mail items ready before that. So I started creating all the art back in November. Now, my design cycle looks like this. I designed July mail items in April, so I have enough time to get them printed and shipped while simultaneously marketing for that month. I have seen some mail clubs open sign-ups for the first 2 weeks of the month, close the mail club, prep and send out the mail in the last 2 weeks of the month. For me, I prefer having a constant deadline so it is easy for both members and me to keep track, and I also have a longer marketing period. Your timeline will look different depending on how much capacity you have and how far ahead you want to plan. The key is to pick a start date, draw a clear line from there to now, and figure out what needs to happen at each stage. Once you are ready, go live. So how is the Good Old Days Mail Club doing so far? I want to be completely transparent with you, so let's talk numbers. At the point of recording, here are my subscriber count from month 1 to 4. In January, I had 3 subscribers. In February, it grew to 6. In March, it grew to 8. And in April, it dropped back to 5. I just want to start off with saying that I'm super thankful for each and every one of you that is supporting me. Every single subscription is a recognition and I couldn't be more grateful. Now, let's talk about the practical side of business. For me, these numbers are totally within expectations considering how I am marketing the Mail Club organically, and I also do not have a target audience pool built up that is interested in art. Now that I'm getting the momentum, here are some things I'm going to be trying out next to grow the Mail Club. Number 1, going live on TikTok. Because I have a lot of postcards and stickers left due to the minimum number I have to buy each month, I thought that going live on TikTok while I pack my mail will be a good chance to promote the mail club and get closer with the members. And because my follower count on TikTok is still super small, I do need to overcome a lot of fear to try TikTok live out. Number 2, YouTube videos. I'm trying to film more videos like this on YouTube to gain awareness, since YouTube channel is mostly for my arts, crafts, and crochet content, so it has a higher chance of my intended audience finding me. Number 3 will be my blog pop-up. I intend to add a pop-up on my blog where subscribers get a little tiny perk for their first month. I feel that I have 1,000 visitors to my blog every month, and it would be silly of me if I didn't leverage on it to promote the Mail Club. I will let you know how this goes in my next update video. I hope that this video has gave you a clearer idea on how to start a meal club, and you now know what to expect based on the different circumstances. I'm planning to make more content around my meal club. Would you be more interested in behind the scenes videos like the May postcard one, or how-to videos like this one, or monthly updates? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any questions about starting a meal club that I have yet to mention in this video, feel free to drop them in the comments. Remember to subscribe to my channel so you know when the next video drops. See you in the next one. Bye!